Hi, boys and girls. We are going to do 2 lessons in social studies today. We're going to get through 5.2 and 5.3, hopefully. So if you guys could open up your keynote, if you need to pause this video at any time, you can, and get to Chapter 5 in Social Studies, Lesson 2. This one is called Economic Process. So the key terms here are market, profit, revenue, specialization, competition, inflation, and recession. So I'm going to go ahead and read along with you. And if I need to stop at any time, I will kind of go over some stuff. I'm sure when I return next week, we'll do a little mini lesson as review and make sure we go over our homework pages. So the economic process is complicated, but its basic idea is simple. Producers and consumers exchange goods and services in a market. A market is an organized way for producers and consumers to trade goods and services. So this could include Target, Giant Eagle, any store that is buying and selling things, okay? Exchanging goods and services. Throughout history, people have often engaged in barter, the trading of goods and services for other goods and services. In fact, when I went to Mexico years ago, you could do that a little bit. We were more so bartering with money and lowering our prices, but back in the day, and I know that people still do it in some places, they're bartering, they're trading for other goods and other services. Kind of like Levi Strauss and how he was out peddling and in the countryside, and sometimes they didn't have money to pay him, so they would barter with him and trade him for other things that maybe he could sell somewhere else. So today, the means of exchange in a market is usually money. Modern governments issue money in the form of currency or paper bills and metal coins. Different countries use different currencies. As a result, countries must establish the relative value of their currencies in order to trade. They must also establish a system for exchanging different currencies. Businesses and the economic process. Businesses want to make a profit, right? A profit is the money a company has left after subtracting the cost of doing business. To make a profit, companies try to reduce expenses and increase revenue. So revenue is the money earned by selling goods and services. So the price of resources affects revenue and profits. So I used to run my own volleyball camps for years, and every year I had to decide how much I was going to charge for my camp. So if the price of t-shirts, for example, went up, I might have had to charge my campers more money to attend my camp because the t-shirt costs went up. I might also have to pay my workers more money than the year before. So that's what they kind of mean by, different inflations, things that go up, you might have to adjust things. So the revenue is all that money that I got in. So let's say I charge $50 per camper and I got 10 campers. Let's keep it small. I would have a total of $500 in revenue. Okay, but as soon as I start subtracting my expenses, so money that I have to pay for the t-shirt, so maybe it's $5 a t-shirt, there goes 5 times 10. Well, that's only $50. And then I have to pay maybe a coach. I have to pay for gym space or donate money to the program, maybe prizes I have to buy, the expense of printing out anything or advertising for my camp. I would take all that away. And what I have left is my profit, okay? So right here, businesses' profits will drop, it says. If resources become more expensive, the cost of making goods with them will also increase. So that's where your business profits will drop if you don't adjust things. Companies can increase profit and revenue through specialization, which is the act of concentrating on a limited number of goods or service or activities. Specialization allows people and companies to use resources more efficiently and to increase production and consumption. Companies' profits are affected by competition, which is the struggle among producers for consumers' money. If one company raises the price of its products, another company may sell similar goods, I'm going to go on to the next page, for a lower price to win more business. So competition, when, for example, with my volleyball camps, if there were other camps around me, I need to figure out what's going to make mine better than someone else's and why would people want to come to mine and versus another camp. Okay? Companies use advertising to help increase demand for their products and to compete with other other companies. Nonprofit organizations are businesses like institutions that do not seek to make a profit. Nonprofit organizations can include churches, museums, hospitals, and other bodies. A healthy economy grows as companies produce and sell more goods and services. So a lot of times when our economy is struggling, the president may initiate like funds or money in like adults' accounts so that they basically can get out and start buying things, because when things are bought and sold, it increases our economy. It makes it get better. People have jobs. People are out, and maybe, when they're out and about, then they're eating at restaurants and things like that. In a growing economy, prices may increase over time. This general increase in prices is called inflation. Economies do not keep growing forever. Eventually, economic activity falls as production slows and consumers buy fewer goods and services. This lack of demand for goods and services can lead to increased unemployment. A decline in economic growth for 6 or more months in a row is known as a recession. So you might have heard that over the years where, they're afraid that we're going to go into a recession period. Things aren't booming, people are losing their jobs, and this can be scary. I think that's why the election process is always so important. Like, who are we going to get in office that is going to boost our economy and represent us well? Okay, so coming back to here, this is the levels of economic activity. We've got primary industry, collects resources from nature, for example, farming and mining. We've got secondary industry, uses raw materials to create new products, for example, manufacturing. We've got tertiary industry, which provides services to people in secondary industries. Examples would be like banking or restaurants. And quaternary industry focuses on research and information, for example, education. So it says economists divide economic activity into 4 levels. So that's what I was just kind of explaining. If you look here, this talks a little bit about what would happen at a market. So here's Acme, for example. Okay, it says producers use resources to make different goods and services. Competition between buyers and between sellers affects product price, quantity, or quality and marketing. And buyers and sellers interact to trade goods and services in a market. So this all is based on what kind of economy that we have. All right, so now we're to the activity. This is just a crossword puzzle, so I would like you guys to do 1 through 4 across and 5 and 6 down. Use your vocabulary terms that are up in this word bank. I think that's all you'll be using in that crossword puzzle. So that's it for this video. This is what I want you to complete for Thursday, and then we'll have another video tomorrow.